Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to show you my top 5 houseplants of October, and I have one sad houseplant that I don't know who's sadder, me or the plant. It's a very upsetting plant, but I will show you guys that plant at the end. So let's get started with the top 5 houseplants of October. I want to thank all my returning subscribers. I appreciate you so much. And I want to welcome the new subscribers. We are so happy to have you here. I am wearing my new earrings from Temu. If you guys missed my Temu haul, I will link it up above. I'm not trying to get you guys to buy anything from Temu or anything like that. I just thought it'd be fun to show you guys what I got, and it was just a fun video. But we are going to get started with the top 5 houseplants of October. So the first plant is my Variegated Burlmarks, and I did purchase this plant on Facebook Marketplace. I did show it in my, I think it was my May plant haul, I think. I did get it in May, and it's grown so much, you guys. This plant has grown so many new leaves for me, and they are just gorgeous leaves. They have so much variegation on them, and I love this leaf. I think it is just so unique. It has half green, and then the other half is like a mottled variegation. It's just so beautiful. I do have a few leaves that have more green and a little bit of variegation, but this plant is always putting out new leaves for me. It started off pretty slow, and when I finally figured out what it likes, it just took off and started growing for me. This plant does sit behind me in my IKEA, I don't know what cabinet it's called, it's the tall one, but when I put it in that IKEA cabinet, it just started growing new leaves all over the place. I also did repot this plant, and I put it in Ocean Farm, the Fox Farm soil. It also has Osmocote in there, and I added a little orchid bark and some pumice and some perlite, and it really seems to be loving that. It does have roots growing in here, and I'm just so excited with this plant. I'm telling you guys, it has new leaves growing for me all the time, and I just couldn't love this plant anymore. It's probably one of my favorite plants right now, just because of how beautiful it is and how much it's growing for me, and I have just been really appreciating it over the past month. I do water this plant once a week. It does stay pretty humid in that IKEA cabinet, but it seems to really love it, and it has a grow light right above it. So you guys, this plant is just beautiful, and I mean, it has new growth, as you can see here. So I'm sure it's going to be putting out more leaves here pretty soon. And that cabinet stays about 78 degrees in temperature, and then the humidity stays around like 60, and this plant has just been loving it. So the next plant I'm going to show you is a plant that I bought at Home Depot. It is from the Leaf Joy line from Proven Winners, and it is the Philodendron mayoi. This plant is just so beautiful. It has grown 2 new leaves for me. I did pick it up in August, and it first put out this beautiful leaf here. And now it just put out this small little leaf here. But I love this plant. It's so beautiful. I do water this one probably every week and a half just because it's in a larger pot. And it doesn't have any fertilizer right now. I was waiting a little bit to fertilize it. I did water it with my fish emulsion fertilizer, which is more like a vitamin for the plants, but it seemed to really take off. I did have to cut off a few not dead leaves, a few damaged leaves. They were like cosmetic damage when I bought them at Home Depot, but it is growing new leaves. It has some new growth points here. It has one here. It also, where did I see that other one? Oh, it has another one right here. So this plant is just so awesome, and I'm so happy that I have it, and I'm just so happy that it is growing and loving the spot that it's in. It actually sits behind me. I'm not sure if you guys can see back there, but it does sit back there. It has an overhead grow light as well as my Barina stand light, and it's really been loving it. So I'm so happy that I have this plant. It's just so beautiful, and if I found another one, I would totally pick it up and pot them up together because this plant is just so beautiful and I can't get enough of it. So this next plant is a fun plant, and it is one of my favorite succulents. It is the watch chain succulent. You guys, I love this plant. I have had it. It's been a year now. I got it in October of last year, and it's just so cute. And it makes it even cuter in this little face pot. But I've had a couple of watch chain succulents, and they do really well. The last one that I had got so long and really large, but when I moved it down here, it was upstairs in a very south-facing window. It got a lot of sunlight, and when I moved it downstairs, it didn't get as much sunlight, and then it died. So I purchased this one in October, and I believe it was at Lowe's, and it has just taken off. It's just so cute, you guys. I love the detail on the little succulents here. I love how it is separated, and it's a really easy plant. I think it's overlooked a lot just because, I mean, it doesn't look too special, but I just love it. I think this is the most gorgeous succulent you can buy. And I know there's a lot of succulents out there, but this is truly one of my favorites. This plant does sit under a grow light over on my shelf. And I do water this plant probably every 2 weeks. It does have some Osmocote fertilizer, and it did not really start growing until I put it under that grow light. It was sitting in the south-facing window down here, and it wasn't growing that much. As soon as I moved it in under the grow light, it started growing a lot. And I just love how it spreads out, and it gets like these cute little twists and turns of the plant. And if you don't have a watch chain and you have some really good light you can stick it under, I would totally recommend it because these plants are so awesome. The next plant on my top 5 houseplants of October is this Spagonia. And this Spagonia I did pick up at Lowe's, and I think I showed you guys this plant, but I got it in August, and I just thought it was a really beautiful plant. It has grown so much for me, and I'm just really proud of myself for keeping this plant alive. Begonias are not the easiest plants, in my opinion, to keep alive. So after 1 month of having this plant and it did not die, I was so excited, and it's grown a lot. I'm really happy with the growth of this plant. It does sit under a grow light, and I do water this plant probably once a week. I did stick this little bird in here, and I filled it with water, so when the plant needs water, it can just take that as needed. And we'll see how that goes. I just put it in there a few days ago, so I'm not sure, how the plant's going to do with that. But it doesn't have really too many crisping leaves, and it's doing good. So I'm really happy with this plant. And I'm probably going to trim it down once it grows up too large, because I don't want it to get too leggy and start falling over. I don't have a lot of room to keep like tall plants, so I have to keep it trimmed down to stay under a shelf. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy that it's still alive, and I just think it's so beautiful. Okay, you guys, so the last plant I'm going to show you here on my top 5 houseplants of October is this Philodendron White Knight. And I absolutely am loving this plant. I do have 2 other White Knights, but this one has just really been doing well for me. It still gets this browning on the leaves, and I was thinking that it had something to do with getting too much sunlight or too much grow light, but I've also heard that it's just damage from when it's unfurling, and I mean, maybe that's it, but this plant has grown so many new leaves, and it's always growing new leaves. Every week I am seeing new leaves unfurl on this plant. It currently, I think it has 2 new leaves unfurling. It has this one here, and then it has this one here, and it does have another one coming out on the top here. This plant doesn't have the best variegation. I just love that it is always growing new leaves for me. It gives me no problems at all. This plant does not have any fertilizer in it, so I am going to fertilize with the Osmocote. I do water this plant probably every week to week and a half, and it does sit pretty close to the Barina Grow Light, but I just love it. I just think that it is such a beautiful plant. So this is the newest leaf that has unfurled, and like I said, it doesn't have tons of variegation on this one, but I still love it, and I think I'm going to try to put it on a grow, like a moss pole or some kind of a stake here, just so it has some support, because it is growing very large, and it's just so beautiful. I just love it. And that is my White Knight Philodendron that I got at Walmart in April of this year. guys, so now I'm going to show you the plant that has been making me so sad over the month of October because I really don't know what happened to this plant. And it is my Syngonium Arrum, the Lanocardy Road. I did purchase this plant a long time ago. I'm going to say at least 4 years ago. I purchased it on Steve's Leaves when it first came out, and I paid a lot of money for it. And now you can find it on Steve's Leaves for like $14.99. So I might have to go purchase another one because you guys, I don't know what happened to this plant. It was doing so well, and then all of a sudden it just started getting all these yellow leaves, and it just looks really sad. I'll show you a picture of when I first got it. I'll show you a picture of what it was looking like, and then within a few days the plant just declined and now it looks like this. So I did have an outbreak of spider mites on this side of the room, and I didn't see any spider mites on this plant. Usually the spider mites don't attack my Syngonium, so I'm not sure what happened to this plant, but it's making me so sad. And I mean, it does have some new growth. This plant, I'm telling you guys, it is the most resilient plant. It has been with me forever, but I think it is just declining really quick. I might have to repot it. Maybe it needs a repot. It has been in this pot for a very long time, but I just don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's sad, and I'm sad. So this is my sad plant for the month of October. I do water this plant once a week just because it's in a small pot. It does sit close to the grow light, like right under the grow light. And I started thinking about it when I did my plant room makeover in September. I moved this plant to that location, and I don't know if it just didn't adjust well and it started declining. I'm not sure what happened to it, but I mean, it looks so sad, you guys. I'm so sad about this plant. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. But this is my sad plant here in the month of October. Okay, you guys, so those were my top 5 houseplants of October. Let me know in the comments down below which plant was your favorite for the month. Let me know if you have any ideas on what's going on with my sad Syngonium, because I'm so upset about that plant. It was truly one of my favorite plants, and it's just really not looking so good. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like the top 5 houseplants of the month, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more plant videos from me, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And I just want to thank everybody so much for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.